was growing up in Liberia, there was a civil war. I've written a series of books and I cover the civil war, my life, women suffering, and all those stuff over there. There is a passage in that book I wrote about FGM. How the world was actually trying to stop FGM, you know. I elaborate on that in the topic, you know, like a chapter there. When people were fighting war in Sierra Leone, there was no chance for you to have that time to go and cut kids. So we were just running for our lives here and there. So for the 14 years during that war time, you know, a lot of people who should have been caught, they are not caught today. And many of them, they are my friends. I am here today to talk about FGM and me as an African man. I mean, a real African man that wants to carry all the African tradition with me, whether I see it relevant for the cutting to be. FGM, like these things that we are talking about, it's a bigger box, you know, but sometimes we just, I mean, like the top of the iceberg is what we touch. Before the Western education go to Africa, we have a means of actually educating ourselves. And we have poorer society. Poorer society is a kind of society that educates the men in Sierra Leone, in Liberia, in many West African countries. The boys go to poorer society, and the women, they go to Bondo, that you mentioned over there. When, for example, in Liberia, in my tribe, Bassa, women, it took them about from 6 months to a year for you to be in that society, for them to teach you about things, about way of lives, how you have to take care of your homes, how you have to be a woman, how you can present yourself. At the end of the ceremony, the rite of passage that we spoke about, before you get out of that, they cut a click. That is your badge. Like you guys, the police, you know, it's the badge. So you came out as a graduated member of the society with that. But then at the end of the day, these people who are doing these things, these big women that we call them the Sui or this, is for economic gain. We came from a society that many people, they are poor. So everybody, you know, like we are trying to reap from each other's. The society have this kind of culture that you pay a lot of money to cut somebody in West Africa. It costs over $200, $300. Where in a poor family, they will spend years gathering money. You know, like the Indian, when you want to marry, you need to have a lot of gold. So they spend money, they gather this money. At the end of the day, this lady who is the Sui, she has to just collect this money, and then after that year or whatsoever, they go and cut. So because of the economic benefit of these things, there's a lot of people, they don't want to stop it. So we can sit here, we talk whatever we want to talk. If you want to take something from somebody, you need to replace it with something. Until we can replace that thing, they're always going to be. But during the Sierra Leonean Civil War or during the Liberian Civil War, we were running for life instead of trying to do, you know, like walking and all this kind of stuff. So I followed a trend because I was there. I saw that many people who should have been caught, they were not able to be caught. Come back to me as a man. I have loved to girls. I mean, like, you know, we African men, we love a lot of women, you know, so I'm not exempted. I've had girlfriends that are caught, and I have girlfriends that are not caught. But one thing that I want for people to know, in Africa, sex and relationship or talking about private part is taboo. I spoke with one of my girlfriends. She don't even know that she has a pee hole. She believes she was urinating from her vagina. Yeah. She don't know that because they don't talk about these things. If I'm going in a relationship, I mean, a lot of African women, you know, they might be a little bit shy because I'm talking about these things, you know, but I have to talk so that we know what's going on over there. When we go into a relationship, you are living in a community where your siblings, your aunties, your uncle, everybody, they are around. Even if you are having sex, you don't say any. So you turn off the light. The only thing I want to do is to do something over there, and I get out. The average sex in Africa is less than 15 minutes. I don't have that time. Like we have a story that African man, you negotiate for over an hour plus for just less than 15 minutes game. And then when you are going over there, you don't even have time. The girl will tell you turn off the light. Like I was telling you, one Sierra Leonean girl, you know, we grew up as in our high school days, you know, from primary school. She lived in Scotland now, you know. She myself came here, we woke up. She came to me to visit. She didn't want me to see these things, you know. I say I want to see. She says, no, I cannot see it. With the relationship end because she don't want me to see what she got over there. Why? I don't know. Women, they turn off the light before sex. I don't have time to know whether you are caught or you are not caught. So this whole thing, we men, we might be blamed because, the African society, they say men is the head, we need to do something. But how much do we know about women being caught, or how profitable it us? I mean, how this is benefiting us is very low. Because I love to some girls, after I myself have become fully aware of FGM, then I started calling them, hey, I want to ask the question. I said, what's it? Do you went to the Bono Society? Say, yeah. Oh, you never knew? I said, no, I never knew. The only thing when I'm with you, I just want to have my pleasure, if that's what you can give to me. If they are doing these things to say it is a way for women to be submissive or whatsoever, who brought about this idea? Whether you are caught or not, if you are submissive to me, I don't want to know. All my friends that have been knowing, nobody will tell me that they want a caught woman. Everybody believes that flower is beautiful. So whether you have it, it's even strange, because it was in the West that I actually, this thing just popped in my mind that I have to be checking women, who is caught or who is not caught. Over there, we don't care so much. So the tradition where they say that these things need to be done so that your family will be respectful. In West Africa, adapt it. Because somebody will marry today, they marry to who is caught. They divorce, they marry to who is not caught. They just go their way. We men, what we want is the pleasure. So the idea about men initiating or men contributing greatly is really is low. We don't really care about that. The only thing we want to know is my wife is with me, she is faithful, she can do whatever I'm gonna do. So the passage, over there in the Bondo society, we prepare these women. Now society is blending. Africa is no longer isolated, the West is no longer isolated, and people are traveling around. So I think if we, because the West, they have been doing a lot of things for us. They carry education. If you really want to take away these things from these people, if we want to do this, the education needs to be high. But you cannot take away something from somebody without replacing it with something. FGM is about economy. It is not just about cutting those gears. When you travel over there, whether it be your grandmom or whosoever, they pay some money for that person to do those things. It is not for free. If it was totally for free, I could have understand. But somebody is benefiting for somebody to be punished. And this is the reason I think the nowadays society, like you said, I see your TikTok account, when they pop over there, you are really great. That's wonderful. I'm happy for that. I will follow you myself. Here's some of these things you have to do.
Yeah.
But we have to educate the men, because at the end of the day, we don't know much about FGM.
Yeah. Especially young men. Especially young men. Like, how old are you? If you don't mind asking.
I'm
We're not allowed to ask men. How old they are? Oh, okay. 23. Okay, but I'll say like 30 or under. I think they would know. Like, they wouldn't know anything about it. But if you are like 40 and over, they know exactly what
the society is putting pressure on those parents for them to, for them to accept the thing to go on. But when it comes, if a man has his daughter and the society say, oh, your daughter needs to be caught before someone else get married, I want for my child to go into a happy relationship. So if that what pleases the society, it's gonna be, in Africa we are judged by the society. It's not by the individuality, It's not about yourself. Whatever you do, you have to try to protect your face, the family face, the value of that. And this is one of the reasons that FGM is suffering, because all my friends that I have, like those ones that I say they grew up during the war period, they are not caught. And these people, they are not willing to go and do those kind of things. Especially there's some of those in a Christian society, those one in a Christian community, they are actually fighting against this, even though we have some hypocrites that they preach it out, but then behind the scene they carry their children. I've talked about some of those things in my other story, So I think that's just what I have to say as a man, that I am totally ignorant of that. And I believe a lot of people were ignorant, so we need more education. And don't blame us. Thank you.